Is Victor Wembanyama the clear NBA MVP? Let's talk about the Spurs Clippers matchup tonight. Hey, welcome to Spurs in Focus, where we put the Spurs silver and black in focus. And what we're going to do today, we're going to be talking about Victor Wembanyama. Is he the clear NBA MVP? Preview tonight's Spurs Clippers game. I am your host, Jeff Garcia. Be sure to follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and go check out Spurs in Focus on Substack. It's completely free, everybody. Go subscribe right now. Spurs in Focus on Substack. Yeah, you just click and you get it for free. So we got a lot to talk about today. You know, we got Victor Wembanyama playing at a whole other level right now. I mean, can anybody stop this guy? Have y'all looked at his recent box scores? We're going to get into some of the numbers. What is he doing of late? What has he been doing? Just X's and O's, and also the intangibles. Is it enough for him to be the clear NBA MVP over Joker, over SGA? And then in preview tonight's Spurs Clippers game, is going to bring in our guest. He is back, everybody. Look at that, Mr. Rudy Campos of Box Score Studio. I think you may want to pull the curtain behind you, Rudy, because you don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Watching, and they could go after Wolf. They could be looking for Wolf.
Well, you know, people say I make a lot of money compared to you, so I'm just trying to show off a couple of the toys that I have.
Not true. Not true. Can you imagine that? Imagine having the keys to that bad boy behind you.
I don't have to imagine it. I have it. I mean, you're literally in my Airwolf cave. Now, I know there's a segment coming up later, the Nerd Talk. I'm going to go from my Airwolf cave to a different cave for that segment, Trey.
By the way, everybody, yeah. I think Wolf was in a volcano, right? Or was he in a canyon? He was in a volcano?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was a volcano. It was a volcano. I'll say it was.
Can you not get any tougher than that? A freaking war machine like that in a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
It's heat. It's literally heat. By the way, the best intro music of 80s TV series?
Oh, God. Yes, for me, yes. There's something about when you hear that, you know, the propeller going and you hear that little roar, then it's dun, 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 and it's like, it was over for me. But I mean, this 80s had so many good themes, man. I mean, all the way down to, was it the Great American Hero? Was another one. I mean, Knight Rider.
18 Knight Rider.
Yeah. 18. Oh, yeah. We can go on and on about
that. Yeah, on and on that. Well, we might get to that, to the nerd segment later on. But again, Mr. Rudy Campos joined us today. Follow him on X at Box Score Studio. He is with the Sports Answer. And a little birdie told me I may have been in a show of his the other day. So
yeah, I believe so.
Melting Spurs. Yeah. All right. So let's get into it, everybody. Mm-hmm. And seeing your screen right there, we're going to kick it off with asking the big question: is Victor Wembanyama the clear NBA MVP? Rudy, you're the guest. Kick us off, man. Where do you stand on him? Is it done? Is it a wrap for him?
I'm going to say no, not right now. And I mean, I'm not saying he's not an MVP candidate. I think he's up there in the MVP candidate. He surely has made his case the last few games at least. Now, what it comes down to is this: if he can get the Spurs to the number 1 seed, then yeah, you've got to really consider him the number 1 candidate when it comes to the MVP award. But look at guys like SGA, who just continues to ball. He's continuing to just add to Will Chamberlain's record that he broke recently at 20 plus points a game. Was 127 as of this show. So then you got Joker. I mean, again, another triple double for an entire season, and he's a 7-footer. Nobody would have ever expected a 7-footer to average that
at all.
I know they talk about Will Chamberlain back in the day averaging a triple-double, but we're seeing it with our own eyes this time. So it's going to be tough, Jeff. I mean, the last few games for Victor, yes, he's been putting up MVP caliber numbers. The San Antonio Spurs have been the hottest team in the league since after the All-Star break. Let's be honest, man. There's nobody that's been better than them. It's because of Victor, but does he catch those two guys?
Right.
I have a number 3 right now. He's already surpassed Luka. He's already surpassed Cade Cunningham, who was an early season MVP. He's going to be right there with Joker and SGA. And you know what? Both of those guys are on the verge of even not making that 65 game threshold. I think SGA is sitting at 55 games, which he can only miss, I believe, 3 more games in the season. Joker can only miss 1 more game, I believe, for the season. So a lot can happen, a lot can change. But right now, I have him number 3, but knocking on the door. It's going to take the Spurs getting that number 1 seed to move Victor past Joker and possibly past SGA.
I got him at number 2. He's in my race right there at number 2 behind SGA. But I got to tell you, that gap between SGA and Wemby in my book is a lot closer than what people maybe think. Now, I think his recent play of late is closing that gap, and he's hitting his stride at the right time. It's going to be, remember, it's a regular season award, everybody, okay?
Yeah.
A regular season award. And what he's doing at the right point in the regular season, these last few weeks of the NBA regular season, is exactly what you need for that push for the NBA MVP. Look, we know SGA is a front runner. We get that. But that gap between OKC and San Antonio for the West number 1 spot, it's close. It's close. What's key for me, the Spurs got to get that number 1 seed. If Victor leads them to the number 1 West seed, and likely probably the number 1 seed overall, because Detroit's kind of been a little iffy of late. I think, yeah, you gotta give it to him and say, like, yeah, he is a clear MVP. He's averaging about 24, 28 points per game right now, 11 rebounds, 3 to 4 blocks. We know he leads the league in the NBA. And what I also like about his play is that he's actually involving everybody. He's definitely quite the facilitator. I'm pulling up his numbers just here in a few seconds here. But this is just staggering. Let's look what he's doing in the last 5 games, Rudy. 24.6 points. I'm sorry, no, last 5. 33.2 points per game. 33.2 points per game, everybody. 11.4 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 31 minutes per game. He's a plus 13.6 for the Spurs in their last 5. And those assist numbers, the facilitating, again, 3.2. He's just doing it all for the Spurs. His defensive impact, just that alone, makes him a strong MVP candidate. But the offensive numbers, coupled with what he does defensively, coupled with the Spurs record going into tonight's Clippers game, again, sitting at the number 2 seed right now, knocking on the door, number 50 wins of the season. I think it wasn't for him, Rudy. The Spurs were not expected to be knocking on 50 wins. And here they are. Many thought it was going to be next year. Yeah, they'll get to 50. People were thinking like mid 40s. But here we are with plenty of games left in the regular season for the Spurs to push past 50, all because of this guy, Victor Wembanyama. To me, I think he's a clear MVP candidate and possibly the winner based on the numbers. But do you think what may hold him back is because that vibe of, it's too soon for him?
No.
You know, that thing.
No, not at all. Now, by you telling me this, it got me thinking a little bit more. I think Jokic's numbers are, again, ungodly. I'm going to put it that way because, again, a 7-footer averaging a triple-double the way he's been able to the entire season and for a few seasons now. I'm looking at it now. Victor, when you look at the scheme of things, he's played overall better than Joker when it comes record-wise. Obviously, they're the number 2 seed. So if you want to put Victor 2, I'm okay with that. And you know what? I might even agree with you. The turnaround that San Antonio has had because of Victor Wembanyama should solidify him as a number 2 MVP candidate. And I will agree with you on that. So I will put Joker at 3 and I will put Victor at 2. SGA still 1, but you're right. The turnaround before the season started, I had the Spurs at 44 wins. I had them at a 6 or 7 seed in the Western Conference, no higher than a 5th seed. So yes, they are making me eat my words, and I'm glad. But I did have them in the playoffs before the season started. So I guess 1 out of 3 is pretty good on my opinion here. But nonetheless, I mean, without Victor, this team does not even scratch 50 wins at all for the season. But overall, I mean, it's going to come down to one thing, Jeff. Can they catch OKC? If they catch OKC, I have no doubt in my mind that Victor should be the MVP of the NBA. So it's just that one thing. I mean, they catch OKC, he gets his MVP title. If not, more than likely, you're going to see SGA get it. But again, if SGA, God forbid, doesn't hit that 65 game threshold, then I mean it's a clear-cut win for Victor Wembanyama as well. So overall, it's going to take that number 1 seed in order for him to get that trophy.
Number 1 seed is within grasp.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has the numbers to back up the MVP talk. And the Spurs' current record is number 2 in the West. And I think they're still, are they number 2 overall in the NBA?
Yes, they are.
Now they're number 2 overall. For a while, they're number
3. Yeah, they're a game ahead of Detroit.
Exactly. And Detroit has kind of scored. And also, too, you look at the other candidates, they kind of fallen by the wayside. Luka Doncic, I don't think he's going to be like there. Cade Cunningham has gotten kind of quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, so Cade Cunningham was actually my MVP to start the season. The way Detroit came out, I mean, you cannot deny the fact that he was the reason why Detroit was the best team in the East, and still technically is the best team in the East. But he has quieted down a whole lot, and sometimes we see that. We see a fast start. We've seen it many times in the past, and again, Cade did kind of cool off. Detroit's still balling out there in the East, but Webby's taken advantage of every opportunity that he's had this season. I mean, you could say, well, he's got a better team around him than Cade Cunningham does. Okay, but that's not his fault. You can't blame him for the front office doing a tremendous job putting players around Victor Wembanyama for him to succeed. So you could say the same thing about SGA. Hey, SGA has better players than Victor does. I mean, some can argue that fact there, but nonetheless, I mean, Cade's fallen off the wayside. Victor's been picking it up. And again, it's just one thing. It's that number 1 seed. You give it to him. You give him the MVP trophy. No doubt in anybody's mind if they get that 1 seed. If they don't, would you say if they fell within a game of the number 1 seed, that's enough to get him the MVP title?
No. I think he has to get the 1 seed. And that's the thing. It's within grasp. So what's frustrating is that when the Spurs lose, the Thunder usually win. Over the Spurs win, the Thunder win. It's always something like that. I think the closest they've gotten is what, 2.5?
I think it's been 2.5 is the
2.5 is the but it's always something, and that's what's so frustrating. But no, do you think now is it legitimately a 3-man race? Joker, Wemby, and SGA, and I don't know. I feel like Joker is hanging on by a thread because Denver is having a subpar moment in their season.
Well, so Joker, let's be real here because they have about 14 games left. Denver does, and they're only sitting at the 5th seed right now. They are technically, as I'm looking at it, I think a game and a half from the third position against the Lakers. But the reason why Denver struggled was because of injuries. They were without Aaron Gordon for a good portion of this season. Jamal Murray was in and out. Joker, I believe, was already out for 13 games on the season. So, I mean, you can't really penalize him for, injuries and Denver having a bad season because, again, if they're fully healthy, they're one of the deepest teams in the league, and they could probably easily solidify that number 3 spot in the West. So penalizing Joker, for the record, I would say no. I mean, if you're a stats guy, he's got the best stats of anybody in the league. I mean, there's nobody better than him stats-wise. MVP, people argue, it's how valuable you are to your team.
Sure.
Well, if you take SGA off, he's an MVP because Oklahoma City's not that good. Take Victor off, San Antonio's bad. Take Jokic off Denver, he's bad. But the MVP is a player's award. So if you go by stats, Joker has the best stats between all 3. But I will say right now, it's between SGA and Victor Wembanyama for the MVP. I mean, there's really no other way to look at it unless Denver just goes on a massive run and Joker's averaging like 40, 20, and 15. Then you got to kind of consider it.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that everything is falling into place for that man you see on your screen right now, Victor Wembanyama. Team success, let's check off that box score. That box. What about the record? Check off that box. What about individual dominance? Yeah, big time. Check that box off. What about peak performance for not just him, but for the Spurs? Yeah, they're knocking off the big boys of the NBA of late. They just was like they're on one of the longest NBA winning streaks. The most they ever lost in a row this season is 2 straight. That's it. So you have this late season surge from Victor. The team is humming. He's carrying the team. The numbers just prove that what he's doing in the last 5 games. He's gotten the head-to-head wins versus SGA versus Cade. He lost. Well, I think he didn't even play the game against Denver, so he hasn't had that. game in his belt. I don't think he even played in that first game in Denver as well.
Mhm.
So he hasn't really gone head to head with Joker. He's beating the Lakers, Luka. The list goes on and on. But here is the big question: what may hinder him, and that is his availability. His availability. You mentioned that he's teetering with falling out of any kind of award because of his missed games. But I think we need to add that to the list. It's getting that number 1 seed in the West and possibly overall, and then being available, just being available. And technically, Rudy, he's doing that. He's available, a lot more available he has been, especially last season with the fluke blood clot.
Yeah.
But those are the two things that are holding him back. But should the Spurs win the day, win the conference, I think it's his, man. I think it's his.
Well, you got to remember, Victor's played 52 games this year. Now, he started less, obviously, because he was coming off the bench for a while. He's played 52 games. The Spurs have played a total of 67 games. So that's 15 games left.
Yeah.
He needs to play 13 out of those 15 games. So that is a tough part. I mean, again, we're not saying injuries for everybody, but we've seen the history come up where Victor has, been out a few games at the end of the season. But once he's finished the end of the season, I think in his career so far. So, do you shut him down before the season, before the postseason? I mean,
Man.
if he, it's so much in there, because if they feel like he doesn't have an opportunity to win the NBA MVP,
Yeah.
and you decide to sit him out, I mean, okay. But again, Shea Gilchrist, he has to play the last 10 games out of 14.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can only miss 4 more games. And again, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's kind of the bad thing about this 65 game thing. I think they need to lower it. Maybe 55 would be ideal. 50, maybe even 60 would be okay. But you're right. The availability part for both Joker and Wemby, it's cutting it kind of close right here.
It's kind of close. All right. What do you think, everybody? I think it's Victor's right now. He is a clear favorite. It's his to lose at this point. He has the numbers, the team success, all that good stuff, beating the other quality teams and other MVPs. Forget OKC lost to the Spurs 4-1. Victor had had a few reasons why that's happened. So let us know what you think. You let Rudy know on X at Box Square Studio. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone, and also on Spurs in Focus on Substack. All right, Rudy, there is a game tonight. Spurs Clippers. I think as of this recording, Kawhi may be questionable. He hurt himself against the Kings the other night.
Shock.
Surprise. I know. Surprise. This is another statement game the Spurs need. This is a potential first round opponent, depending on how the Clippers season ends up. They're probably in the play-in at minimum, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've got to be minimum in the play-in right now. I think the Clippers are sitting at the 8th seed as of this recording. They're really not that far off. I mean, they could get as high as to the 7th seed. I don't think they get into the playoffs because I think they're like 7 games behind Minnesota. So I really think they're going to be a play-in team. Could they fall to the 10th seed? Very possibly. I mean, Portland and Golden State are only 2 games out, but I mean, as of this recording, Kawhi's a game time decision. Which again, I mean, game time decision with Kawhi Leonard, you're probably going to be watching him sit out. I mean, no shot to him, but you're probably going to end up being him sit out this game. Would it surprise me if he returns? Probably not. He's had some very successful games against his old team. So,
I got the numbers.
I mean, it's crazy good how Kawhi is against the San Antonio Spurs, but I think they're going to be a play-in team at worst. There's no way they're going to be able to catch Minnesota. Yeah,
and again, a potential first-round opponent for the Spurs should things shake out that way. Some quick notes before we look at the tail of the tape here. Not good for the Spurs. They've lost 5 straight games against the Clippers in Los Angeles. So that Intuit Dome has not been friendly to the San Antonio Spurs. Talk about those numbers for Kawhi. Now, if he does play versus his former team, this is what he's done to the Spurs in 16 career games versus San Antonio. 25.3 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 5.2 assists. He just wrecks shop. All right, so for me, I'm looking at the rebounding right now On the road, the Spurs are 17-3 when they out rebound their opponent. So Spurs got to crash that glass. Should be able to. Zubac is no longer a Clipper there, so that big party's out of the way. And also, they got Matherin from the deal there, but the Spurs can counter with their guards. So on paper, if Kawhi does not play, should be light work for the Spurs tonight. Now, if Kawhi does play, then that changes everything. Darius Garland also is a new Clipper, so he seems to have success versus the Spurs. Keep that in mind as well. All right, so we're going to look at the tail of the tape here. All right, Rudy, there you have it, the tail of the tape right there on your screen. What jumps out at you when you look at that box?
Oh, man. I mean, I just saw it right now, so give me a second to look it over. But
I'll say this much while I'm giving you a few seconds to look it over, man. Don't send the Clippers to the free throw line. They're first in the NBA. So they definitely make their free throws. And if the game is close and it comes down to that, Spurs may want to think twice about hacking anybody or doing the foul game. So keep that in mind. Also, too, I didn't realize the Clippers shoot that well. Fourth in the NBA, 48.3%. And I bring that up because I wanted to follow that up with 3-point percentage, field goal percentage. Clippers are 10th. They're top 10 team, 36.3%. The Spurs, well, they're about middle of the road. We all know that. But I bring it up, Rudy, for the Clipper side is because the Spurs struggle versus 3-point shooting, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Once a team gets going beyond the arc, it's kind of difficult for the San Antonio Spurs because then it's almost like they kind of go into panic mode and they try to answer back with a 3-point barrage of themselves. And they're not the greatest 3-point shooting team, as you can tell on the graphic. So I think it's just defending that perimeter, keeping the Clippers away from that 3-point line because, they are one of the better shooting teams. And also, I mean, look at the steals per game. That's what I judge out with me. They are number 8 in the league, averaging almost 9 steals a game. Compared to the Spurs, are only averaging 7.6 steals a game. So that's the other part is the Clippers like to play a very tenacious style of defense. Obviously, we know what Kawhi Leonard can do when it comes to being one of the best defenders in the league, but it's pretty contagious when you've got Kawhi Leonard because Chris Dunn's a very good defensive player. You've also got John Collins, who's he can be a menace down below as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of different guys that can really D it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. And that's what stands out to me the most is the steals per game. Everything else, I mean, Spurs are probably the best team, obviously on paper, but why do the Clippers have their number? I mean,
we know why. Kawhi Leonard, that's why.
Yeah, but even when he doesn't really play, it seems like the Clippers give him a hard time. So I would say that, on paper, it looks really, really good. But what you mentioned, the shooting and also now steals per game, those are the are the 3 parts of the game that I'm looking at. That's kind of difficult.
Yeah. By the way, standing out for me for the Spurs side of things is look at that turnovers. They're 4th in the NBA. That's good, everybody.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
The ball up a lot. 13, close to 14 turnovers a game. Good for 4. So they really preserve. They take care of the ball. That's great. You have to do that, especially if Kawhi plays. They'll have to get in transition. So, I mean, on papers, you can see everybody. It should be the Spurs win. You factor that Kawhi may or may not play. If he doesn't, should be a W. But we've seen this team play down to competition. Victor Wembanyama has admitted it. Even Mitch Johnson has admitted it. So, keep that in mind. I'm going to go with the Spurs win. By the way, everybody, get your coffee ready. It's a West Coast game, so very late if you're in San Antonio. But I'm going to go with the Spurs. I think they blow the game out end of third, go to the fourth. What about you?
I've got the Spurs winning this game as well. I mean, what if Kawhi plays? Even if Kawhi plays, it's going to be fine. I think they get the win. My biggest thing is they need to rebound the ball. They've got to control the boards. John Collins, Brook Lopez, they've got to be able to control the boards. And the other part too that I've got, Jeff, is I'm curious to see, you're going to have Dylan Harper, who's going to be out for this game.
For the game, yep.
Who's going to step up behind Dylan Harper? You've got
Jordan McLaughlin, man. Come on.
Well, Jordan McLaughlin, yeah. But again, you've got a guy that's not so NBA ready. I mean, Jordan McLaughlin, he is, but again, it's not. You're going from Dylan Harper to Jordan McLaughlin. No disrespect to Jordan at all, but I want to see maybe see Harrison Barnes get a little bit more run in this game now that Dylan Harper's out. Carter Bryant, who's been playing
Really well.
absolutely magnificent
Very
for the
well,
Spurs, get more run. Is this a game where we maybe see a little bit more of Lindy Waters, maybe get some
Perhaps,
playing
yeah.
time, some runs? So I want to see who's going to be taking up and who's stepping up for Dylan Harper. But give me the Spurs. You said it's over by the third quarter. I would say it's pretty tight till the fourth quarter. Then the
Okay.
Spurs kind of pull it out towards the end.
Either way, should be a W for your San Antonio Spurs. All right, what do you think about tonight's game? Spurs Clippers in Los Angeles. Let Rudy know on X at Box Score Studio. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone, as well as going to Spurs in Focus over on the Substack. It's free, everybody. Hit the subscribe, you get it for free. How about that? All right, Rudy, you want to get nerdy?
Sure, let's do it.
Get nerdy. So, aside from Airwolf buying, oh no. Okay, what you went from Wolf to the Cave.
Yeah, so you would say we were going to get a little bit nerdy, so I had to drop off my Airwolf, and I decided to move on down to my Batcave that I've got. So,
So you're telling me you're Batman?
I am not saying I'm Batman, nor am I. I'm not denying nor admitting that I'm Batman. It's just say that you can never, and you've tried, you can never get a hold of me after like 11 o'clock. So,
yeah,
I always answer you in the morning when I'm getting back or when I wake up from my.
It was curious the other day when I ran into you. You were kind of like, "Oh, my back hurts," I asked, "What were you doing up late?" And
Yeah,
you were like, "Oh, nothing." You were just.
I was catching up on media stuff. Let's put it that way.
All right. So let's do a nerd segment here. So I recently saw a movie, Rudy, and I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but if you've seen it, I hope you did. War Machine on Netflix.
Okay. I have not seen it, so
okay.
But you can spoil it. You can spoil it. That's fine with me.
Well, I don't have to spoil it for everybody else that's watching, though.
That's true.
Let me tell you, you're gonna have to watch it. This is everything that my nerd heart wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Got rookie Army Rangers.
Okay.
Thrown into a forest.
Okay.
Led by a seasoned rookie Ranger, because he decided to try out for the Rangers later in his military career.
Okay.
All right. You have a rampaging robot that looks like a mix between Ed 209 from RoboCop.
Okay.
And the two-legged walkers in Star Wars, coated in black with a full arsenal, and this robot does not play.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Like there's no, the movie's gonna hold off from some gore and some dismemberment. No, they go full out. All right. And by the way, these rookie Rangers, they don't have live ammo. They got to figure out how to survive against this creature. It is Independence Day meets
Predator.
The Predator.
No.
Meets Battle of LA. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
Yeah.
2000s.
I did.
Yeah, it has that Black Hawk Down vibe to it. All right. And talk about a setup for a possible part 2 movie. I mean, it is incredible. It is led by I think I hope I pronounce his name right. Alan Rickman or Richmond or Rich.
Okay, Rickman. Yeah,
Rickman. Yeah, he was in the DC series Titans. He played with Hawk. I think he played Hawk. He's a Reacher in the Prime series Reacher. Yeah. And my God, they brought the action, adrenaline. Now look, you ain't gonna go for some Oscar-winning dialogue or performance or storyline. It is very, very basic, but what a ride. I mean, from maybe 15 minutes, you gotta go through 15 minutes of kind of a setup, but once that creature robot is encountered, it is go time. All right. And I highly recommend it. It is the most nerdiest. It's a man's movie. It is just a man's movie.
All right.
It is bones being shown broken out of the skin and having to be reset in the wilderness because they got to survive. I mean, this movie brought it. Again, don't expect some sort of Oscar-nominated movie. It's not that.
A lot of these movies aren't like that, so I wouldn't even expect it.
But there's kind of a twist at the end when they're talking about the character, because they never give you the character's name. You don't know his name.
Okay.
And then it's finally brought up at the end. And
Mhm.
they're in the chopper. I'm not giving away anything else to anybody. And they have the main guy in there. He's only known as 81,
Okay.
And one of the leaders is like looking around doing a head count. He goes, "What's his name?" And then it ends like that. So, but it's a great setup.
Okay.
You won't regret it. It is just full on adrenaline throttle, metal to the pedal to the metal. Let's go. And that robot, I'm telling you, man, that thing does not mess around.
So we getting like
is-
Demon Slayer type slashing, like just body
No,
parts
it
everywhere.
just has all this like it just has a lot of firepower, just tons of firepower, and it's a great nerd movie.
Mhm.
It's a survival movie. You're getting Predator mixed with Independence Day mixed with, I mean, just all the great kind of sci-fi movies, Lost in the Jungle, all that good stuff. You're gonna love it, man. Go check it out, everybody.
I'm talking Netflix. Is that what it's
On Netflix? Yeah.
Okay. I can
It's actually,
definitely
I think
check
I
that.
saw this past weekend, and it was actually ranked number 2, the second best movie that was being watched on Netflix right now.
See, I just started, and you're gonna probably kill me for this because you and I talk about a lot of stuff,
Well,
but
here we go.
I just started Invincible on Prime.
Oh,
So
well, I wish I was you right now to enjoy it from the beginning again.
I'm on episode 3, obviously, of season 1, and I love the comics. I used to own Invincible 1
Yeah.
actually, and I sold it a long time ago, but I'm actually thoroughly enjoying 2.5 episodes in, and I'm like, this is awesome. Why did I wait to see this?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Invincible is awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the War Machine because
Yeah.
I saw you posting about it on social media, and I was like, I gotta check this movie out because when Jeff
It's
says
about
it's
a
good, it's usually
it's
good.
about an hour and 49 minutes. So
Okay.
it's
It's not too bad.
not too bad. It's teetering on there. But you're gonna love the ending, the setup and
Mhm.
everything, and about his name, all this stuff. Like, wait, what is his name? That's when it hits you like, whoa, who is he? You know?
Well, he was in Titans, like you said. He
Yeah,
was
he was in
playing
Titans.
Hawk. There was I don't know if there was a rumor where I saw it, but some people were saying he would be the next Batman in James Gunn's
Oof.
universe.
He'd be a brutal Batman, though. The guy got like a tank, man.
He is, but you don't think he would be able to play that Bruce Wayne Batman type of
I think
character?
he definitely played Batman. It's just the Bruce Wayne side I have a little bit of.
So who would be your perfect Bruce Wayne right now?
That's a tough one, man. That is a tough one.
Because I mean,
I thought about
James
the kid.
Gunn.
I thought about the kid that is playing He-Man, Prince Adam.
Oh yeah, but
Him, I think.
he's gonna stick with He-Man. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's gonna be his. Yeah.
that trailer was. I think I've hardly give away chef kisses, but that He-Man trailer was chef's kiss, man. And shout out to the guys at Mortal Kombat 2. That one
Yeah.
looks really damn good as well.
I'm thinking the Street Fighter movies. They're potentially making
man.
fun of it being cheesy, right? I think that's the point. They know it's cheesy and they're making fun of it.
I get why you say that because
Yeah.
you and I always talk about it. When you make a Transformers movie, how hard is it to make it a legit Optimus Prime, red and blue, tractor trailer, all this stuff? How hard is it? And I get Megatron as a gun. You can probably get around that stuff. But the comic and cartoon accurate versions of these characters, it shouldn't be hard for Hollywood to do.
No.
But now that we get a comic or a game and comic, everything accurate Street Fighter, I've heard people say, like you said, it's probably going to be a dumb one. It's probably going to be cheesy, but I kind of like it. It looks a little dark if we're talking about Street Fighter. So I'm going in with no expectations. That way I can be surprisingly like happy when I see it.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Mortal Kombat. I mean, majority of those characters are pretty game accurate. I want to see where they go. And I like the whole Cole Young, I believe, from the first one. They're talking that he's going to end up being Ken Chi. I'm not throwing that out there, but I mean, that's what I've seen. That actually happens. Then I can get behind the Cole Young thing. But man, there's so many good movies coming out. I'm like,
There is.
I'm nerding big time over here.
I'm definitely waiting for Master of the Universe. I mean, that's the one on my list. That I think it's the same director that did the Transformers, the one where they had the legit war where they The character
Listen, Transformers 1 was
No,
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Yeah.
Remember that opening scene? They're literally showing this in the middle of. I mean, okay, that should have been awarded an Oscar. I mean, that opening scene was.
Yeah.
I can watch that. That was worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Just that opening.
I could have walked out. I would have walked out after that scene.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Later, everybody.
We are done.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about cartoon accurate, that was
it.
accurate
That
right
was
there.
accurate. Yes.
I'm even shocked. Like, how do you not make G.I. Joe cartoon accurate?
Well, I'm saving that for a future nerdy segment here because, I mean, the last G.I. Joe movie, the last Transformer movie, it left us on that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They give the kid the card. They want him to join the team, and it's revealed that it's G.I. Joe.
Which it's already a comic crossover between G.I. Joe and Transformer. And
that was
man, I want to spoil it, but I can't spoil it, can I?
That was the Beast Wars movie that recently had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was off that one. Yeah.
Can I spoil the Transformer crossover or should I not?
I mean, it's
an 80s comic book. It's an 80s comic book. So in that one, Bumblebee gets blown to pieces by G.I. Joe. So, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, there's an actual comic cover out there. It shows Bumblebee, getting blasted away. So, I mean, not only that, I don't know if you ever saw the announcement. I know I've been off of X for a while now, but they're starting to make a Mask movie. I mean, I hope that is accurate.
I mean, that I think that's should have happened years ago. That fits into this world right now. It really, really does. It does. But that's another crossover there too, from Transformers to Mask. Yeah. So keep that in mind. I mean, look, Rudy and I can go on and on all day, but going back to the top, the moment, go check out War Machine on Netflix. If you just want adrenaline, action, a rampaging freaking tower of a robot against an Army Ranger crew that have no weapons on them and how they survive. Whew, that was good. That is good. I might watch it again. I have to watch it again. And that was your nerd segment here on Spurs in Focus. He is Mr. Rudy Campos with Box Score Studio and the Sports Answer. Tell us what's going on with the Answer and Box Score.
Yeah, so you can catch me on the Sports Answer. It's on Answer Now TV on YouTube. It also now is a live show. So we broadcast on Answer Now TV, Refocus Radio Network, or Box Score Studio. You can get all three at YouTube. So just search all three, search one of them. You're going to catch me there for the Sports Answer. And also shout out to the Sports Answer because we're not on Amazon Prime, but our mother company is now part of Amazon Prime. So we're getting more eyes. So if you're a Prime subscriber, you can go check out our mother company and you'll be able to catch us from somewhere down there along the line. So yeah, I mean, a lot's been happening behind the scenes. The reason why I was out of X for a little bit and off social media, because there's just too much going on that I had to prepare for. But yeah, nonetheless, man, it's good to be back finally.
I'm glad you're back. Again, follow them on X. Everybody at Box Scores Studio, do that right now. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow as that Spurs season continues. But before we let you go, make sure to follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone and go to Spurs in Focus on Substack. It is completely free. Go check it out. Subscribe right now. You'll have a good time. Again, it's free. They say things in life aren't free. Well, guess what? This one is. This one is completely free. No charge. Nothing. Go subscribe again. Spurs in Focus on Substack. All right. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. And now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.